Right now, Britney Spears, the pop superstar, is scheduled to speak in court today concerning the legal battle over her finances, which was put in the spotlight after that recent documentary. Kaylee Hartung is outside the courthouse there in California with the latest for us. Good morning, Kaylee.
Good morning, Robin. Finally, a chance to hear from the pop princess herself. This date, it's been circled on the calendar for months, but now a new report from the New York Times says that Britney's been fighting to end this conservatorship and get out from under her dad's control for years.
Just hours from now, Britney Spears is set to break her silence in court. This afternoon, the 39-year-old pop star will appear virtually at a hearing over her conservatorship and who will control her estimated $60 million fortune. The New York Times reporting it's obtained confidential court records showing that behind the scenes, Spears has been pushing for years to end the conservatorship, which has been controlled in part by her father, Jamie, for the last 13 years. According to the Times, court documents allege that it restricted everything from whom she dated to the color of her kitchen cabinets. They say a court investigator wrote in a 2016 report that Spears said she feels the conservatorship has become an oppressive and controlling tool against her.
There's a real irony in that Britney was deemed incapable of managing her own money, yet she was still allowed and promoted to go out there and perform and make money. So she, in the last 13 years under the conservatorship, has made millions of dollars. And her dad, he makes a salary of over $100,000 a year. And then additionally, he makes a percentage of several of her multi-million-dollar deals.
The Times also saying that in 2019, Spears told a court she had been forced into a mental health facility against her will on exaggerated grounds, which she viewed as punishment for standing up for herself and making an objection during a rehearsal.
It's getting late.
Spears hasn't performed in 2.5 years, something her lawyer has said she won't do while her dad is in charge of her career. Last week, the star answering a fan's question about if she'll make a comeback.
Am I ready to take the stage again? Am I going to take the stage again? Will I ever take the stage again? I have no idea. I'm having fun right now. I'm in transition in my life, and I'm enjoying myself. So that's it.
Conservatorships are usually put in place for people who courts find unable to make decisions for themselves. Spears was placed into one in 2008 following 2 hospitalizations and concerns surrounding her mental health and substance abuse. It's been making medical and financial decisions for her ever since. Her conservatorship brought back into the spotlight in the recent documentary Framing Britney Spears. It's also the basis of the Free Britney movement.
Hey, ho-ho! The conservatorship has got to go!
A group of loyal fans who believe she's being controlled against her will.
Jamie Spears' representatives haven't responded to this latest New York Times report, but as we've heard from his lawyer here on GMA before, he says he and his daughter love and support each other. As for how Britney's feeling, our best insight into that has been through her Instagram. There, she says she's extremely happy and totally fine. But today, we hope new light will be shed on how she's doing. Guys.
We really do. We're wishing her all the best. Kaylee, thank you. Our chief legal analyst, Dan Abrams, is at the desk with us, joining us right now.
Welcome back.
Conservatorship. Explain exactly what that is and how it's used.
Yeah, there are 2 sort of buckets, right? One is effectively a guardianship of the person to make sure that she's eating, to make sure that her mental health is protected, etc. Really the very, very basics about living. And then part 2 is the financial piece, right? So in effect, there are 2 conservatorships in place with Britney Spears. It's not an either or, it's both. It's both with regard to her health and with regard to her finances. And let's be really clear on this. This is really unusual, okay? A conservatorship tends to be for someone with dementia or someone who is having such severe drug problems that they literally can't make decisions for themselves.
Well, that's my question. She's out there performing. She's out there doing her job. How can she be called incapacitated?
And she's created a clothing line and a new perfume line, and she's a judge on a reality show. I mean, it is hard to believe, right? Particularly putting aside the financial piece for a minute, just on the question of herself, the notion that she can do all these things and do them well. I'd be so curious to know what it is that's been presented to the court that has led a court to say, yes, this very high standard of literally saying to someone, you can't make decisions for yourself, has been achieved. And that we don't know. We don't know exactly what was presented in court, but we do know that this has been a process that has been going on over a decade.
It's been so long, Dan.
When you talk about what's been presented to the court, but how important is her statement going to be to the court to combat whatever has been?
Yeah, I think it's going to be more important than it typically would be, right? Because we're hearing that behind the scenes she's been saying that she'd like to end this, meaning when she's talking to investigators, and yet there's been no formal motion made by her to end the conservatorship. I think if she gets up there and says, I want this done. I want this over. And here's why I think that I've changed and I think that I can take care of myself, et cetera. I think that would have a big impact on the court.
And the judge has complete power here?
Yeah, complete power. And because remember, conservatorship is basically saying you can't make decisions for yourself.
Yeah.
Okay.
And she's paying for both sides' lawyers, by the way, too.
She's paying for both sides?
Both sides' lawyers. Because remember, it's everyone involved.
It's all her money.
Right. Right.
Wow.
There is something, there's a lot to be learned about this.
Good to have you with us in the
Good
studio.
to be back
Dan.
here.
Thank you.
Great to see you guys.
And for more on the hearing, ABC News Live will have full coverage starting this afternoon at 12 p.m. Eastern, TJ. Well, hey there, GMA fans. Robin Roberts here. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Lots of great stuff here. So go on, click the subscribe button right over here to get more of awesome videos and content from GMA every day, anytime. We thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the morning on GMA.